Stories are everywhere. They're in the books we read, the movies we watch, and the conversations we have every day. Stories have the power to transport us to different worlds, introduce us to fascinating characters, and teach us valuable lessons about life. A well-told story can make us laugh, cry, and everything in between. It can stay with us long after we've finished hearing it, shaping our thoughts and influencing our actions. Think about a time when you were completely captivated by a story. Maybe it was a book you couldn't put down, a movie you watched multiple times, or even a simple anecdote from a friend that left a lasting impression. What was it about that story that drew you in? Chances are, it was more than just the plot. It was the way the story made you feel, the connections you made with the characters, and the insights you gained from their experiences. Stories have the power to connect with us on a deep, emotional level. They allow us to step into someone else's shoes and see the world from a different perspective. By understanding the power of storytelling, we can become better communicators, more empathetic individuals, and more engaged members of our communities. From the earliest cave paintings to modern-day blockbuster films, humans have always been driven to tell stories. It's an intrinsic part of our nature, woven into the very fabric of our being. But why? What is it about storytelling that is so fundamental to the human experience? One reason is that stories help us to understand the world around us. They provide a framework for interpreting our experiences, making sense of chaos, and finding meaning in the seemingly random events of life. Through stories, we can explore complex issues, grapple with moral dilemmas, and learn from the successes and failures of others. Stories also serve as a powerful tool for social cohesion. They bring people together by creating a sense of shared history, culture, and values. When we share stories, we are not just transmitting information, but also forging emotional connections that strengthen our bonds with one another. This shared experience helps to build empathy, understanding, and a sense of belonging within a community. In essence, storytelling is more than just entertainment. It's a fundamental aspect of what makes us human. By embracing the power of storytelling, we tap into a deep wellspring of human creativity and unlock a powerful tool for understanding ourselves and the world we inhabit. A captivating story is like a portal to another world, drawing the audience in and making them forget for a little while that they're just reading a book or watching a screen. Creating this immersive experience requires more than just a compelling plot. It demands the construction of a believable and engaging world. One of the key elements of world building is vivid imagery. By using descriptive language that appeals to the senses, writers can paint a picture in the reader's mind, allowing them to see, hear, smell, taste, and feel the world of the story. Details are crucial here. The more specific and evocative the descriptions, the more real the world will feel. Equally important is the creation of a consistent and believable set of rules for this world. These rules might govern anything from the laws of physics to social customs and cultural norms. The key is to establish internal consistency, so the audience can suspend their disbelief and accept the world of the story as real, even if it's fantastical or unfamiliar. Draw inspiration from history, mythology, current events, or even your own imagination. By carefully crafting your world, you can add depth, intrigue, and a sense of wonder to your storytelling. Characters are the heart and soul of any good story. They're the ones we root for, cry over, and remember long after the story is finished. But creating characters that feel real and relatable takes more than just giving them a name and a backstory. It requires breathing life into them, making them flawed, complex, and utterly human. One of the most effective ways to create compelling characters is to give them clear motivations. What do they want? What are their goals, dreams, and fears? By understanding their motivations, we can better understand their actions and empathize with their struggles. Equally important is giving your characters flaws. Nobody's perfect, and trying to create flawless characters will only result in flat, uninteresting individuals. Flaws make characters relatable. They give them room to grow, and they often lead to conflict, which is the lifeblood of any good story. Remember, your characters don't have to be likable, but they do have to be believable. The more time you invest in your characters, the more they will come alive on the page or screen, captivating your audience and leaving a lasting impression. Section 5. The emotional roller coaster. A good story isn't just a sequence of events, it's an emotional journey that takes the audience on a roller coaster ride of feelings. To truly captivate your audience, you need to make them feel something, and that means tapping into the full spectrum of human emotion. One of the most effective ways to evoke emotion in your audience is through empathy. By creating relatable characters and putting them through difficult situations, you can encourage your audience to step into their shoes and experience the world from their perspective. Another powerful tool is suspense. By carefully controlling the release of information and building tension throughout the story, you can keep your audience on the edge of their seats, wondering what's going to happen next. Sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones that force us to confront difficult emotions like grief, loss, and betrayal. Draw on your own experiences, observations, and understanding of human nature to create moments of genuine emotional resonance that will stay with your audience long after the story is over. Section 6. The shape of a story. A well-structured story is like a finely crafted piece of music with each element working together to create a satisfying and memorable experience. While there are countless ways to structure a story, most follow a basic arc that includes a beginning, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. The beginning is where you introduce your characters, setting, and the inciting incident that sets the story in motion. This is your opportunity to hook the audience's attention and make them want to keep reading or watching. The rising action is where you develop the conflict, raise the stakes, and introduce complications that make it harder for the protagonist to achieve their goals. The climax is the turning point of the story, the moment of greatest tension and suspense. It's where the protagonist faces their greatest challenge and must make a choice that will determine their fate. The falling action is where you tie up loose ends, resolve subplots, and show the consequences of the climax. The most important thing is to find a structure that serves your story and keeps the audience engaged from beginning to end. Section 7. Learning from the masters. One of the best ways to improve your storytelling skills is to study the work of master storytellers. Whether it's Shakespeare, Jane Austen, or Stephen King, pay attention to how they craft their characters, structure their plots, and use language to evoke emotion. Don't be afraid to analyze their work, taking note of what works well and what doesn't. Pay attention to how they use dialogue to reveal character, how they create suspense, and how they use symbolism and imagery to add depth and meaning to their stories. Another great way to learn is to attend workshops, conferences, or classes on storytelling. By studying the greats and seeking out opportunities for growth, you can hone your craft and develop your own unique voice. Section 8. Finding your voice. Every storyteller has a unique voice, a distinct style and perspective that sets their work apart. Finding your voice is an ongoing process of discovery and experimentation, but it's essential for creating truly authentic and memorable stories. One of the best ways to find your voice is to write about what you know and care about. What are you passionate about? What stories are you burning to tell? When you write from a place of passion, your voice will shine through. Don't be afraid to experiment with different genres, styles, and formats. Try writing in different voices from different perspectives and see what feels most natural and authentic to you. Embrace it, nurture it, and don't be afraid to let it shine through in your writing. Section 9. The never-ending story. The art of storytelling is a lifelong journey of learning, practice, and refinement. There's always something new to discover, a new technique to master, or a new story waiting to be told. Don't be afraid to experiment, to make mistakes, and to learn from your failures. The more you write, the better you'll become at crafting compelling characters, building believable worlds, and taking your audience on an emotional roller coaster ride. Remember, the most important thing is to keep telling stories. Share your stories with the world, whether it's through writing, filmmaking, or simply telling a story to a friend, because stories have the power to connect, to inspire, and to make the world a little bit brighter.